Hey friends, what's up? It's me, your girl Daisy. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. I'm genuinely blessed to have you here. Today I'm going to talk about something very interesting. So I so appreciate your time. I know that it is precious to you just like you are precious to me, and I hope that you all enjoy. And the word of today is ambiance. So don't mind me and this beautiful ambiance. Today I just wanted to touch on smart cities and underground cities with you guys because I know this may sound like things of the future, but I promise you it is genuinely things of the past. As time progresses, it's easy to wonder, where will things go from here? And I do ask this question often. With disclosure of aliens and interdimensional beings now sweeping across the US, and Elon lording over Twitter, aka X, it would seem as though our science fiction dreams will quickly become a reality. I want y'all to know, I'm calling it now. Elon wants to run with Trump. This is my guess. It's just a guess, okay? Just a curious guess, speculation, just my thoughts, right? I truly believe that Elon wants to run with Trump, that whether they show publicly whether they like one another or not, it's just the plot twist that this simulation could use. It's just the plot twist that would truly shake up the American people. In all seriousness, an alien boy was spotted on a subway train in New York City recently. He was looking quite sad and quite far from home. Call it a piece of art if you want, or whatever. But I truly think that this was done for another reason. Whether this was public art or preparing for some type of movie that will come out in the future. There's a reason for these things. There's a reason why these things keep happening. I asked before, how will our future change? How will life as we know it change with the awareness and acknowledgement that there is aliens or interdimensional beings, which we spoke about at length. How do we advance from here? Is it that those crazy preppers and con theorists were actually right? Will they finally have the last laugh? Recently, a creator made a video on signs that had been posted in downtown LA. And apparently, this is just a game or fake art. Basically, there was this construction spot and it was wide open. It was a big open spot. And there was posters that said, coming soon, underground community, all electronic, everything you have is there for you, underground facility, completely electronically controlled, whole electronic living space underground. That's curious. Why would they do that? To promote some art piece? We're going to look more into that. But before we do, let me just state, this is a stark reminder to Ectolab, which I told you is not far-fetched. It is not science fiction. It is just my opinion, but this is more reality than you truly think. More reality than we truly know. More reality than reality itself. So what's going on here? Are these subterranean communities a thing of the future, or are they truly a thing of the past? Let us find out together. My channel. I'm genuinely blessed to have you here. I hope you are all doing well. You sure do look swell. And my goodness, what a great day it is to be alive. Speaking of living and being alive, where do you live? Do you live in a home? Do you live in a car? Do you live in a shack? Is that so? And how do you feel about that? Oh, really? Alrighty then. What if this whole idea, again, is nothing new, it is not unique, it is not special, it is something that already exists. Wow. And truth be told, it does exist, just minus all the glitz and glamour and electricity, essentially. It's kind of messed up, right? Moving forward, on this picture by the construction, it showed a building that was subterranean, a building that went underground, much like the bunkers that everybody was getting really big into for a minute there, much like the bunkers that, millionaires were showing off and, some others were just making fun of and making light of. Well, certainly not as funny anymore. I remember watching this documentary. It came out a few years back, a little while back, and it was all about the homeless who lived under the streets of New York City. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, how many are down there, for one? And how is this happening? How is this allowed to happen? That there is a whole community of people underground. Right? I know. So messed up. People just living under the city. Many of you are very aware of the vast catacombs that exist, especially in Paris. There's people there too. Yeah. The homeless, the mentally unwell, forced away from the public and underground. How sad is that? What? Humans are just the worst. We know about these vast catacombs that exist. Let me go on just a bit further, and we're going to look at Isaiah 2. Yeah? Okay. I know. Apparently he has a lot to say about this topic as well. I know he's really interested in Isaiah, so I'm reading Isaiah 2:19. They shall go into the holes of the rocks, and they shall go into the caves of the earth, for fear of the Lord and the glory of his majesty, where he arisen to shake terribly the earth. Many of us are well aware the Bible and ancient texts, but specifically the Bible, is not the only one that speaks about such an event where people would have to flee into the earth. Just a thought. And if we were to go forward, it says in 2:22, which is, I just love 2:22, by the way. 22. Cease ye from man, whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he to be accounted of? Stop regarding man, in whose nostrils is breath, for of what account is he? Don't put your trust in mere humans. They are frail as breath. Isaiah 2:8. Their land is full of idols. They bow down to the work of their hands, to what their fingers have made. I cannot. No, I wanted to leave it at those little bits, but I'm going to expand on this a little bit further just so you get a broader idea of what is being said in this area. You, Lord, have abandoned your people, the descendants of Jacob. They are full of superstitions from the east. They practice divination like the Philistines and embrace pagan customs. Their land is full of silver and gold, and there is no end to their treasures. Their land is full of horses, and there is no end to their chariots. Their land is full of idols. They bow down to the work of their hands, to the work their fingers have made. So the people will be brought low, and everyone humbled. Do not forgive them. Go into the rocks, hide in the ground from the fearful presence of the Lord and the splendor of his majesty. The eyes of the arrogant will be humbled, and human pride brought low. The Lord alone will be exalted in that day. The Lord Almighty has a day in store for all the proud and lofty, for all the exalted, and they will be humbled. For all the cedars of Lebanon, tall and lofty, and all the oaks of Bashan, for all the towering mountains and the high hills, for every lofty tower and every fortified wall, every trading ship and every stately vessel, the arrogance of man will be brought low, and pride will be humbled. Amen. The Lord alone will be exalted in that day, and all the idols will disappear. Here it is. The people will flee into the rocks and the holes of the ground from the fearful presence of the Lord and his splendor of the majesty when he rises to shake the earth. In that day, people will throw away to the moles and the bats their idols of silver and idols of gold, which they were made to worship. Made to worship. They flee into the caverns, in the rocks, in the overhanging crags from the fearful presence of the Lord. The splendor of his majesty when he rises to shake the earth. Stop trusting in mere humans who have but breath in their nostrils. Why hold them in such esteem? Other biblical texts, we see similar sentiments. So apparently it's something we see pop up again and again. Did you know that ancient texts connect humans to ETs? Yeah, there's that too. For the curious, here's a short list of the most known and popular ancient texts so that you can get an idea of where to start when looking into these things. Of course, I'm going to mention the Bible first, the Torah, the Quran, Vedas, the Book of the Dead, and that's obviously hailing from Egypt, and the Tao Te Ching, Bhagavad Gita. And there's also the Buddhist Sutras, as well as the Dead Sea Scrolls. There's so many different ancient texts to look into, to learn from, to check out, and I encourage you to please do so. So as for underground societies, underground subterranean communities, do they exist? Is it a thing of the future? No, they do exist. It's just a thing of the now. And this one claims that they'll have electricity. So, I guess they're moving on up down there in the slums below the earth, living with the rats. It is so sad that people are living in the tunnels of LA, under the streets of New York, and in the gully of the Queens of Jamaica. It is so sad to know that people are homeless beneath Manchester. And that's not all. The Paris catacombs are some of the largest on Earth. Let me know, what do you guys think about all this? Please let us know in the comments down below. Tell me what you think. Have you heard about this? What are your feelings on this? Do you think that it's a bit wild? Do you think that I'm overreacting? I'm always curious. Do know that you're allowed to have your own opinion. We don't group think here. You are your own person. And that's an amazing thing, right? I appreciate you all for who you are individually. That's what makes us special, right? There's only one you. If you haven't already, please check out my description, as there is always sweet nothings written down there for you. I apologize for the continuous meowing in the background, but he ain't never gonna stop. Stay awake, stay aware, stay well. Tell your loved ones you love them. You don't need an excuse, okay? You don't. Don't wait till things get weird and it's awkward to give them hugs. You all matter so very much to me. I'll see you soon. And a special thank you, of course, to my members, because you are the gold that makes this train roll, and I genuinely could not do it without you. So thank you from the bottom of me big chungy wongy hat.